Good morning, garden friends, on this beautiful fall day. This is ideal weather for me. It is like 66 degrees here, and I think we're gonna get up to 82 today, but this is the perfect time to be either transplanting or planting, and I'm going to be working on this area. If you guys recall in an earlier video where I talked about my hyssop, how tall it's gotten. Okay, so I cut it all the way back and it is now still, I'd say maybe about almost 2 feet tall. Okay, so the hyssop, the endless summers that I have in this bed, I have 2 of them. I'm gonna get those moved out because this is a sun area and I just don't like having the burnt spots on the endless summers. And then 2, while they bloom, I like it to look pretty. And I think I'm pulling away from the endless summers and strictly going with the paniculata hydrangeas because my yard is full sun. I'm gonna be moving my bee balm, and then the only thing that I am concerned about is me moving my garrow. This thing was this tall and spilled out probably about 4 feet over the garden bed. So that's part of the reason why I want to move it. But they're a little finicky, and I'm concerned that if I move it, if it'll end up dying on me. But I got a big pot that I'm gonna put it in because I haven't quite yet figured out where I want its final place to be. But today, a lot of this area is getting cleaned out because I am going to be planting my new pufferfish hydrangeas in this bed. Now my black-eyed Susies are gonna stay, and so is my clematis, and also my camellia. And then any of the smaller plants that are in here, I'm just gonna leave those in because I do have some other plants that I got from approving winners that I'm gonna put in this bed. So let me go ahead and start getting this bed cleaned out and then getting it prepped for the new plants that is going to go in here. So come along with me while we go ahead and get this knocked out. All right, so as you guys know, when I dig up plants, I like to get them right back into the ground. But because the areas that these guys are going to be going into, or that I am donating them to a garden friend, I got my pots prepared so that when I dig these plants up, I'm going to get them in the new soil with the hope of reducing any type of shock to them. I'm going to go ahead and put some biotone in here also because I just want to make sure that the shock is minimal. I'm going to get them watered, get them moved over into an area that is not going to have direct sun to it. So let me go ahead and get the biotone in here and start digging these plants up. And like I said, when I use the biotone, I don't like it just sitting on the top. I like to get it mixed in so that the roots don't end up having too much fertilizer to it. Even though this is slow release, better safe than sorry. And then all I got to do is get the plants put in here, watered, and set over to the side. Okay, so I'm gonna first start with my garrow, get that dug up and into the pot that I've prepared the dirt for. Yeah, see, it got nice root system. Get that in here to reduce any type of stress to this. And this is the thing, being able to reuse the plants that you have in your garden. I usually like to pick plants that, I like or end up having good success with, and then just trying to find some other place within the garden to utilize these. Plants over here do extremely well. So I'm definitely going to find a spot that they can continue to be successful, but this is more about size. This area for these plants are too large. So that's part of the reason why I am moving these. The next one I'm gonna do are my bee balms. I have a spot already for these guys, but because my focus today is getting these guys dug up and getting the new plants in here, that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Well, I love the smell of this. And as you can see, I have new growth on here. So, and the fact of, I did tie that up. The fact that I will probably cut these back before I plant them in the new spot. And then I also have bulbs in here, but because of where these plants that I'm digging up, especially where the hyssop is at in the 2 endless summers, is where I'm going to be placing my pufferfish hydrangeas in this area. And the other thing too is, I try to get as much of that old dirt off the roots so that they have a nice start in the new soil. All right, and then now I'm gonna do the endless summers. And like I said, I believe this area just gets way too much sun. That's why the leaves end up burning, because they bloom really, really nicely. So and you see, got new growth, because this blooms on new wood. So just more or less getting prepared. And then before I give this to my garden friend, I'll get it all nice and cleaned up for her so that she knows what the plant or where the plant is going to be producing new shoots for her. And then the other thing that I'm going to do for each of the new plants that I put in here, this soil is probably a good 7 years. And then usually anytime I plant something, I put compost and manure. I'm going to pretty much do the same thing for the new plants that I put in here. Now this is my strawberry raspberry straw flowers. I'm gonna go ahead and get those guys trimmed up because I got new shoots coming through. And then these are my hyssops that I cut back earlier in the season, like I said, that were this tall, and they're only supposed to get, I think, 2 to 3 feet tall. So this is just too compact of an area for these guys to be in. And the bees just love these. Okay, like I said, I gotta get those, my yellow flag irises from back there. I'm thinking about moving that rose bush too that I have in a pot, but my black-eyed Susies are gonna stay in here. Okay guys, the sun is coming out and I want to be able to quickly get these plants in here. So my 2 pufferfish hydrangeas are gonna go there. I moved out the rose and I had some muhly grass that wasn't doing well where it was at, so I moved that there. And then some of the annuals that I had in the vegetable garden beds, I pulled those out. So I'm gonna put them in here just to add a little more color. And like I said, I'm not going to mulch because I have bulbs that I'm gonna be putting in here. So I will show you guys this when it's all done so I can beat the sun. Okay, so we are all done. And I think my pufferfish hydrangeas are gonna look gorgeous in those 2 spots with the backdrop of my black-eyed Susies, because those guys will get about 4 foot tall. And then my pink muhly grass, and then of course my purple and yellow clematis. I think it's gonna end up looking really nice in this garden now, and then things will be more manageable instead of overcrowded. And then, like I said, I just plopped those vincas and in here, and some verbenes, the annual. And then, guys, look at my Jacob coats. I think that is going to be my next annual that I am going to start incorporating into my garden. That just looks so nice. I cannot wait until this garden is full-fledged, bloomed. It is going to look gorgeous. Yeah, my vincas are playing catch up for being transplanted, but having the 2 of the pufferfish hydrangeas there, and then my chameleon back there, I think this is going to look gorgeous. And items are the right height. Plants that I'm going to put in here to make sure that they stay low to the ground. Oh God, I'm so loving those Jacob coats. Those are just beautiful. Well, thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner, and I hope this video inspires you to be willing to make those changes in your garden so that the plants can be successful and you're making the right choices when it comes to height, texture, and color. Well, I look forward to you checking out my next video, and if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. Have a great day.